Good morning, Alex. Today, we're going to talk about the present perfect continuous tense. Are you familiar with it?
Good morning, sir. I have heard of it, but I'm not really sure how it works. Can you explain it to me?
Of course. The present perfect continuous tense is used to describe an action that started in the past and is still continuing or has recently stopped, but its effects are still felt in the present.
So, it's about actions that are still happening or just stopped, right?
Exactly. For example, if you have been studying for an exam, you could say, I have been studying for 3 hours. This means you started studying 3 hours ago, and you're either still studying or just finished, but you're still feeling the effect of studying.
I see. It's like showing that something began in the past and is connected to now.
Yes, that's right. The structure of the present perfect continuous tense is simple. It's formed using the subject, followed by have been or has been, and then the verb with an ing ending. For example, I have been working, she has been reading, and they have been playing.
So, it's just have been or has been with the verb in the ing form?
That's correct. The choice between have and has depends on the subject. We use have with I, you, we, and they. We use has with he, she, and it. For instance, he has been running and they have been running.
Oh, I get it now. What about negative sentences? How do we make those?
Great question, Alex. To make a negative sentence, you just add not after have or has. So it becomes have not been or has not been. For example, I have not been sleeping well, or she has not been practicing the piano.
That seems easy enough. What about questions? How do we form those?
For questions, you simply switch the order of the subject and have or has. For example, instead of saying, you have been working, you would ask, have you been working? Or, has she been studying?
So, I just swap the subject and the have or has to make a question.
Exactly. You have got it. Let's try some examples to practice. Can you form a sentence using the present perfect continuous tense with the verb to write?
Sure. Let's see. I have been writing a letter.
Excellent. Now, can you make that sentence negative?
Okay. I have not been writing a letter.
Perfect. And now, how would you turn that into a question?
Have I been writing a letter?
Well done, Alex. You're getting the hang of it. The present perfect continuous tense is also used when we want to emphasize the duration of an activity. For instance, they have been waiting for 2 hours. Here, the focus is on how long they have been waiting.
So, it's good for showing how long something has been happening?
Yes, exactly. When we mention the duration, like for 2 hours, since Monday, or all day, It's a good idea to use the present perfect continuous tense. Do you want to try making a sentence that includes the duration?
Sure. Let's see. She has been watching TV since the morning.
Great job! That's a perfect sentence. You used the correct tense and mentioned the duration. Now let's discuss when we should use the present perfect continuous tense instead of the present perfect tense.
Is there a big difference between them?
Yes, there is. The present perfect tense is used when we focus on the result of an action, while the present perfect continuous focuses on the action itself and its duration. For example, I have read the book. Present perfect means the action is complete. But I have been reading the book. Present perfect continuous emphasizes that the action was ongoing and may still be ongoing.
So, if I'm focusing on the action and how long it's been happening, I should use the present perfect continuous?
Exactly. For example, if you say, he has played football, it means he finished playing. But if you say, he has been playing football, it means he was playing, and we might still see the effects, like him being tired or sweaty.
That makes sense. It's all about what we want to emphasize, the action or the result.
You have got it! Now let's practice with some more examples. Can you tell me how long you have been studying English using the present perfect continuous tense?
Sure. I have been studying English for 3 years.
Excellent. Now can you turn that into a question?
Okay. How long have you been studying English?
Perfect, Alex. You're doing really well. Another common use of the present perfect continuous tense is to describe temporary actions or situations. For example, I have been living in London for a few months implies that this situation might change.
So, if I say, I have been working at the store, it suggests I might not work there forever?
Exactly. It's a good way to talk about something that's happening now, but might not be permanent. Can you think of a temporary situation in your life and use the present perfect continuous tense to describe it?
Let me think. I have been learning to play the guitar.
Great example. That's a temporary activity you're involved in now.
What if I want to ask someone about a temporary activity? How would I do that?
You could ask something like, have you been working on any new projects lately? This question uses the present perfect continuous to ask about ongoing activities.
I see. So, it's useful for asking about things people are currently doing or have been doing recently.
Exactly. It's also important to remember that we usually don't use the present perfect continuous tense with certain verbs like know, believe, own, and like. These are called stative verbs, and they describe states rather than actions. Instead of saying, I have been knowing him for years, we say, I have known him for years.
Oh, so not all verbs can be used in the present perfect continuous tense?
That's right. Stative verbs usually don't work in the continuous forms because they describe a state of being rather than an action. Can you think of a sentence using the verb like with the present perfect tense?
I have liked ice cream since I was a child.
Perfect. That's a great example. Now let's do a quick review. What's the basic structure of the present perfect continuous tense?
The structure is the subject, followed by have been or has been, and then the verb with an ing ending.
Excellent. And when do we use the present perfect continuous tense?
We use it to talk about actions that started in the past and are still happening or have recently stopped but are still relevant. We also use it to show the duration of an action or describe temporary situations.
Perfect summary, Alex. You've really grasped the concept well. Do you have any more questions about the present perfect continuous tense?
Not right now. I think I understand it much better now. Thank you so much for explaining it.
You're welcome, Alex. I'm glad I could help. Remember to practice using the tense in your everyday conversations and writing. The more you use it, the more natural it will become.
I will definitely practice more. Thanks again, sir. I hope you liked this conversation. If it helped you improve your English a little more, please subscribe to the channel and share this video with a friend. Thank you very much for your support. Take care.